Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments episode 50. Oh, I've just looked it up as well. I think it's 54. I literally just this second looked it up. Yes, episode 54. Emily's say a quick hello before she goes to have a shower before getting ready for bed, aren't you? Yes, you are.
No.
Right, you can say a quick hello.
Hello.
And then a quick good night.
Good night.
You got all of your cuddly toys?
I didn't bring in.
Oh, okay. You just got Lily, mind the cable. Yes, Emily desperately wanted to be on it. I'm a little bit late recording. So this is Crochet Moments. It is my place where I like to talk about yarn and knitting and crochet and all of those good things. So excuse my appearance. It's actually Monday. I'm recording Monday instead of Friday, and I had such a busy weekend I didn't have a chance to record anything over the weekend. So because I'm trying to squeeze it in on a Monday evening, this might feel quite rushed. I hope it won't, but I did promise Simon to keep it as short as possible. So yes, I'm Helen. I live in Leicester, and that was Emily, my youngest. Occasionally Catherine, my oldest, likes to make an appearance. Although she's 12, she's too cool for Mummy's programme now. She does have ambitions to be her own kind of YouTuber, but mostly about Sims gaming. If I were to allow her to play on Sims a little bit longer. So the last 2 weeks, busy. Work as always, very busy. And next week with work, I'm actually going to have afternoon tea with the area leader as recognition. So the bank I work for has a recognition week every quarter, and it's their way of saying thank you to the staff, and every member of staff is encouraged to send their thanks to other colleagues across the bank. And the area leader decided that as it is the bank's 150th birthday this year, that she would take one person from each branch in her patch to afternoon tea. So I'm off to afternoon tea with the area leader in a little, well, about a week and a half now, next Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. I finally got my invite through today, so I know which restaurant we're going to, so that's very fun. Anyway, so I have had some time to do some crafting. I have one finished object, a new start, and 1, 2, 3 whips. Well, 4 whips if you include my new start. Add a tiny bit of incoming, but it's yarn, so it's always exciting. So I'm going to start with my not my incoming first, my finished object. So I am a brownie leader as well as working in the bank, and we do Secret Santa. My Secret Santa is a big Harry Potter fan, and I'm lucky enough to have both Harry Potter knitting books and the Harry Potter crochet book. So I decided crochet works a little faster than knitting, well for me anyway. So this is the first item I've made her, and this is the Patronus. Let me get the pattern book out so we can. So this is the book the pattern is from, Harry Potter Crochet Wizardry, and the designer is Gillian Hewitt. So it does come either as the doe, or you can add antlers. It's just, there it is, the antlers. So I decided not to add the antlers because it was very much hard work putting this together. I thought it would be a lot easier, but it was a little tricky. So what can I say about this? So the yarn is Aldi in the sky blue. It's I had a bit of I think it was a half a ball left, so I thought, oh, this looks like enough. So it's one thing I would like to change is something to do with the legs. So because of how narrow the legs were, I didn't find it terribly necessary to stuff, although they are very bendy. So I'm wondering if I were to wiggle a pipe cleaner through the back, through the stitches into the space in the leg, do you think that would work? So the person is adult aged, so there's nothing to worry about sort of injuries, things like that. But yeah, so I've really enjoyed making this. It is a different amigurumi style to the one I normally do. So you work each section flat and then you crochet it all the way around and you add in your extras. I think I could have been a little bit neater with some of the adding in of the limbs, but I think it's not bad. Whoops! It's not a bad effort at all. So yes, I would recommend. I believe Gillian Hewitt does a range of patterns, not just Harry Potter ones, that use this style of amigurumi. I think I might have made a teddy bear from one of the Crochet Society boxes back when I used to subscribe to that. So I don't know, but anyway, that's that. And while I have this book out, my new start, there he is, the sorting hat. I've been wanting to find an excuse to make this for a little while because I think it's absolutely amazing. Now, I did hear that there are mistakes in the pattern. I haven't noticed any. Whether or not they're in the row counts at the end, because I very rarely count my stitches. If I get to the end of the row and it finishes on the repeat where it's supposed to finish, I tend to not worry. It's when I have extra stitches or not enough stitches at the end of a row that I start to think about counting my stitches. So this is a design by Lee Sartori, or Sartori. And let's try and do this so you can look. This is so cool. So I did buy the yarn. I had to buy yarn for it. I do have some yarn bands. Now the pattern, I don't know where those yarn bands have gone, is for Aran weight yarn. Now, nowhere that I could find in Leicester could I find Aran weight yarn in the right colour to make a sorting hat. So I did a little bit of a Google and discovered that if I double up on DK weight yarn, again Aran weight yarn, so that's what I've done. So I'm working from 2 balls of yarn at a time, and this is the yarn I bought. Oh gosh, I hope that's not pulling stitches. Eek. No. So it's just the Hayfield Bonus DK, and it is in the colourway Chocolate. It's 100% acrylic and it's 280 metres per ball. So I'm looking at the meterage of yarn it said in the pattern. I worked out that I'd need just over 5 balls, but because I am not just over 4 balls. Yes, I think I worked out that 5 balls would be enough, but because I am working from 2 balls at a time, I did buy 6, so I will probably have some of this left, but that doesn't matter because there is another project in the book which I would like to start when I've had another finish on my crochet. And here he is. Let's just unsquash him because he's been in the bag. Let's just tuck that end in now. I haven't sewn in any of the ends yet. Let's poke make his eyes. Here he is. So for there's his mouth. For the longest time as I was making this, now this is actually worked up quite quickly. So this is a weekend's worth of work actually, because I worked on it last weekend. Here he is. So I'm just about to start the brim, and I think he's fairly fun looking. He is big enough to fit on the head. There he is. I don't know what house I would be. I'm a Harry Potter fan in the fact that I love the makes in the books, and I have read the books, I enjoy the books, but the movies not so much. But I don't have a particular house. Oh gosh, I'm even fluffier than I was before. I don't actually have a house allegiance, so I have no idea which house I would like him to shout when he's on my head. But I think that my Secret Santa is going to love him so much. I haven't decided if I'm going to get the burlap ribbon. I don't know if that's something I'm going to be able to get in time. So I know it's Secret Santa, so technically it's a Christmas present. We are having a leaders camp at the end of November where we plan on having some food and drinks and fun and just exchange our gifts. So it had supposed to have been a proper brownie camp, but we didn't have enough girls interested to even out the cost of doing a full camp. But we didn't want to lose our deposit, so we're all chipping in I think it's about £25 I need to hand in tomorrow. So we're all chipping in £25, and that will pay for all of our the camping fees for staying overnight there, and some cheap frozen pizzas to put in the oven for dinner with some garlic bread. So that's the plan. That is the plan, and I'm quite excited because I don't have much of a social life outside of work and my family. So to be able to just have an evening with like-minded people, we're all silly, we're all as silly as each other, and we love a good laugh, so that's the best thing, isn't it? Spending time with people who make you laugh. So let's carry on with the crochet. So I've got lots of crochet whips, but I have lots of knit whips, but I'm only working on one at the moment because I'm desperate. I need to get it finished by the first weekend in December. But I will go over that in a minute. And I'm so sorry if this does seem rushed. I've just realised I've got the remainders of a glass of wine on the table. I could do with that. Right, so this are my squares for part, let's get my app up because I can't remember what part. So it's part 6 of the piece of cake crochet along. So this is a crochet along that is hosted by Crochet Now magazine, and obviously we're halfway through, or around halfway through. They're usually about 12-13 parts long. So we've got a bobble stitch and a puff stitch. Now with the bobble stitch you did have the opportunity to be a little bit inventive and do your own pattern, but I decided to just do the rows. So there's my bobble stitch, so I've got 2 of those. And all of this is in largely Aldi DK. This one is a Deramores DK, which obviously Deramores isn't trading anymore. And this is the puff stitch. So again, they're both Aldi DK yarns. Oh, that's really dark. I don't know what Simon's done to the lighting. It's a bit dark, and so let's show you there's the cream one, so you can see. So very quick squares to make up. I think each square only took about an hour and a half's worth of work. my puff stitch ones want to lean a little bit. They're not completely straight. They're sort of going off in a diagonal. I don't intend on blocking these squares. I'm just going to join them together when it comes to joining them together, and hope that all of the squares even themselves out. I'm not big on blocking. If I can get away with it with not blocking, I will. I don't do lots of blocking. And while we're on crochet along news, Sheepy's crochet along is going to be announced on the 8th of November. For those who aren't aware of this date, that is the date. If you are not aware of what a Sheepy's crochet along is, head over to their website. They've done some phenomenal ones. So this one was, well, they didn't do one last year. Ooh, it's because I've moved out of my square. Ooh, I moved out of my square. Anyway, so I'm going to go all fuzzy again. But this one is the 2020 cow. Was it 2020? Yes, because last year was 2021. And then this one was, I believe, the one before that. So this is the Rosetta, which I really enjoyed doing. Now this one I did not do along with the crochet along. This one I came across it. I thought, oh, I like that. But there are other ones. So the Mandala Madness was one of the earlier crochet alongs that it hosted. The Ubuntu, which I keep looking at, I keep thinking about which other ones, but there's been a few that I like. I've just found with my foot, I mean, a Lego piece. This is the hood from, can only guess that they've got the fairy godmother from Cinderella somewhere in their Lego box. Yay. But yes, as I was saying, so tomorrow for me, I hope this goes up tonight on Monday the 7th, but if it doesn't, it will go up sometime on Tuesday the 8th. But yes, so Tuesday the 8th of November is when the proper announcement for the Sheepy's cowl will, and I'm so excited. Budget wise, I know that I was saying the next one I'm going to get the luxury yarn, but I'm not sure if I can afford it so close to Christmas. The announcement is tomorrow, so I would assume it will be sometime either just before or just after Christmas when it actually starts. But I'll be deciding on my colourways and ordering the kit soon after they've made their announcement. I have been trying to save, but I keep spending it. There's always the credit card. That's what I keep telling myself every time some of my favourite yarn dyers have sales, or if they put new products. I'm trying to be good because it is almost Christmas, and I need to not buy things so that Simon has some options for my Christmas gift this year. But yes. So my next whip is, I might as well do all of my crochet whips before you show you my one knit whip. So this is living in this amazing sort of sack type bag. This is an Aldi project bag from a few years ago, and I wish I'd bought more of them because it is perfect blanket size, and we all know that Helen likes making blankets. They've definitely come in handy the last few days as the weather has taken a turn for the chilly. We're not hitting freezing temperatures yet, but we've managed to get almost a week into, no, 7 days or a week into November, and we have not yet turned on the heating. So how about that? 7 days into November and the heating is not on. So, and I know there are those of you who live in warmer climes, i.e. Soffity, and a few of her friends that she's recommended me to, who are probably laughing at this because I believe you're already getting the hottest temperatures that you've ever had. I think I remember reading a little while ago. So, yes. Sorry, it is freezing sometimes. Right, now, this is my Winter Wonderland. I nearly forgot the name. And this is designed by One Skein of Love, and she's brought out a new one. Oh my goodness, the new one is amazing. And I love it so much. Look, where's her Instagram? Because it's just absolutely beautiful. Find. Oh dear, but yes, I'm so it's Anna Mara. I don't know. I can't pronounce, but where is her picture? There it is. So this is the Wintry Forest Cal, is her new one for this year. That's not a great picture. I'm not seeing anything closer up than that. A few sneak peeks. Oh, I love that bag. I love that. It's a lovely cushion. But she's got some beautiful things, and this is what the finished object will look like. I have taken the colourway from a blogger who did the test for the pattern. So, and I'm loving the colours. Now there is a little bit of a mistake in the current repeat that I'm working on. Now, I'm just working around it. I noticed it. It was right at the start of the previous row, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to work around it. Life's too short to frog. So here is my progress so far. Now I haven't got a clue how much of that you're seeing. So there it is. I loved doing these reindeers. These reindeer were just so much fun. Now let's see if I can find my deliberate mistake. There it is, look. Oh, yes, so it's supposed to be these sorts of, I think it's going to be baubles, and I somehow managed to miscount, and I've got part of a bauble. I'm just going with it. I'm just going with it. This is my next my next crochet whip to work on, although I will be finishing that hat first, and by then I may have my piece of cake cowl squares to do as well, so it may not see as much work as is down on the diary to do, but yes, so that's that. So the yarn I'm using is Paintbox Simply DK, and I'm hoping I've got enough of everything. I followed the amounts that was posted on the blog that did these colourways, because I think these colourways are beautiful. I love the different greys with the red, with the sort of the really shocking red in there. But yes, no, I really enjoy doing this kind of mosaic crochet. It is very, very it is mindless crochet. You don't have to think too much about what you're doing. Once you've got that repeat playing in your mind and you know where you're going. So for a lot of these, once you've got the first couple of rows in, it's sort of feels natural where the next thing you do is. That makes no sense whatsoever. I'm losing my words. But these, just How amazing are those? But there's going to be some snowmen a little further up in the blanket, so I can't wait to do those. So that is that. Right, okay, I've just spilled wine on myself. I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to have a sip of my wine while I finish up, and I hope I managed to avoid getting that anything important. But yes, so just cheers. I tripped over the cable that Simon has everything plugged into. So, oh, it's a good job I'll be changing into the top half of my pyjamas. I'm already in the bottom half. So my knitting whip. Here it is, this big, humongous pile of knitting right here. Oh dear, this is becoming a labour of love. So this is the Harry Potter Christmas at Hogwarts tree skirt, designed by Susanna Ick. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but there is what it should look like. It's beautiful, and it's knitting up quite nicely too. It's just, it takes a long time. I think I'm down to, so here's the chart. I'm hoping that there's not enough detail there to be able to see, but that's how far up the chart I am. So I'm about halfway up the chart. Oh, and this is from the second, no it's not. Is it? Yes, this is the second one. So this is the Harry Potter Knitting Magic New Patterns from Hogwarts and Beyond. So this is the second knitting book. And again, this is with, oh actually no, so the green is the Aldi Aran, and the cream is a ball of cream Aran that was in my mum's stash. Now, I'm starting to worry there's not going to be enough to get to the end. I am down to 300 stitches, or just under 300 now. Oh, it's just so long. I'm getting all tangled. So this is sort of how big it is, and this is all bunched up. It's going to be much bigger, stretched out. So this stitch marker is where I was the last time I showed it. So I have done a sizable portion over the last couple of weeks when I've had knitting days. So this is where I am on the repeat. So I finished the 3 trees, and oh my gosh, the beads were a nightmare. I bent my hook. I bent my hook. Oh, you can't really see. So I had to buy, I mean, I'm glad they were cheap, some very, very thin lace crochet hooks. This is a 0.5 millimeter, so it's a 0.5 millimeter hook to be able to pull the tiny green beads through onto the threads of the yarn. Now, the tiny hook was perfect for fitting the beads on and getting them over the yarn. However, the tiny hook wasn't great at grabbing the yarn, and quite often would split the yarn. So some of them, some of these beads are only on half a yarn, half of the thickness of the yarn, because it was just not going on. And there are supposed to be some white beads in this empty space here and here. However, the white beads I have been sent, despite the fact that I ordered the same size as the green beads, don't fit. There is no getting the yarn through those hooks, those beads at all. So that's just not happening. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm looking forward to some nice easy rows. So I've got one more cable row, which is actually the first row that I'm going to be working on tonight, and that is just where this is all going to be closed, combined and closed off, and then I've got a few rows and it's just straight reverse stockingette. So that should work up very, very quickly. But at the moment I'm down to about 25 to 30 minutes on a row, depending on how much work is involved in that row, which isn't bad. It's not bad, considering right at the start I was taking an hour plus on one row. So, but what I do have left is the owls, which will be created using cables. Let's see if there is a closer up picture of the owls. But it's just on a page that has rather a lot of information on it. So there, oh no, there's the owl there. So that's what the owl will look like. And that is the dimensions. So I need to get this done. Our Christmas tree will be going up on the 3rd of... or is it the 4th? The first Sunday in December is when our tree usually goes up. So that is when it needs to be done by. I think I'm going to achieve that, mainly because I have a week of annual leave planned at the very end of November into the start of December. So by then the rows should be super quick. So it may just be an afternoon of knitting and Netflix and it'll be done. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Certainly I am enjoying it. That's not an issue. But I just want to see it finished so I can start working on something else. And maybe I might have a couple of whips where I'm trying to get things finished, because unless it's something quick, small and quick, it's been very tiresome working on the same project every time I'm knitting, and it is very tiresome, very, very tiresome. So that is all my whips. I can't believe it. That is all of my whips. So, oh, that's lovely. It's just one of the Aldi, I think we went for Chardonnay this time around. We're not overly picky with our wine. And it is nice to, we don't drink a lot. We'll have a glass of wine on the Sunday evening with dinner, and then we'll finish that bottle of wine with a glass of wine over dinner on a Monday. I just didn't get a chance to finish it while I was eating my dinner. So that is that. Let's open that back up. I'll move that over there. So, incoming. I've had my Attic Spin Die subscriptions. Now they've been sat on the side for a little while now. So what I need to refresh my memory. So the Beatrix Potter. He actually did another rerun of the part 1 of the subscription, because I think it proved incredibly popular, especially when he put the spoilers up. So part 1, so I get this lovely card with, look at this bunny. Oh, my girls are fighting over that bunny, so I might have to ask Angela for the pattern. Although looking at it, I could probably work out that just by reading the stitches. And a lovely little carrot stitch marker. I do apologise for the lighting. I don't know what's going on. It's really dark and shadowy when I get close to the camera. And as always, a themed lavender pouch. So this has got Peter on. So I placed my order for part 2 the other day. Now that one, that's Alice. So here's Peter. So here is the yarn. Look at that. I need to make more things with my yarns. Although sometimes does anybody that treats himself to nice yarn ever just put it in a box and take it out every now and give it a little stroke and a squish, and I love to rub it on my face, and sometimes I like to smell it because I just love that smell, that lovely sheepy smell of real wool, because I think it might be because I use acrylic so much that I just see this as special. And it's not, I mean, it is special because it's been hand dyed, but oh, it's so gorgeous. I love it. I love it. I'm very much looking forward to the rest of this subscription. I think I've got my mini skeins mixed up. So as part of the fact that if you buy the subscriptions you tend to get a mini skein anyway, I think this is the mini skein that came with the subscription, and I think this one was the one that came in the packet, or it could be completely unrelated to the delivery, because I do have a little pile of minis that need to be added to my blanket balls bag just in the same place where these have been sat. So I just picked them up just this now, and it's very possible I've picked one up that wasn't part of it, but it's just it's beautiful. I love that so much. So Alice in Wonderland. So this is the Lobster Quadrille, and we've got a lovely little shell progress keeper, stitch marker, whatever you like to use them. Sometimes, well, I tend to only use these kind for my 4-ply or DK projects because the clasps are quite small. So it is, some of them can be a little bit small for the bigger yarns, so I do tend to use them mostly on my DK, and they're great for keeping your loops on your crochet as well. But that is that. So we're on chapter 10. I'm trying to remember how many chapters are in Alice in Wonderland, because I do have Alice in Wonderland upstairs. I just can't. But anyway, another beauty. This needs to be in a shawl. This definitely needs to be a shawl. I need to find more one skein shawls, really, don't I? But this is, I love this colour so much. This needs to be just a regular colour to buy, because I certainly would. Just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely love it. Absolutely 100% in love with the yarn. So I'm looking forward to chapter 11 of Alice in Wonderland and chapter 2 of Beatrix Potter. So that is everything I have to show, I believe. I did notice just when I went onto my Readly app, there's a new issue of a knitting magazine that it's great for this app. I'm loving this app. Yes, so creative knitting. So that is, I'm not sure, Australia. So so creative knitting. So that's one to have a flick through later and have a look, maybe when I'm having a cup of hot chocolate or something before bed. So anyway, I promised Simon I'd keep this short, so I better stop. Stop talking, Helen. So I shall see you again in, well, it'll be less than 2 weeks now. I did want to put it out there, I will be doing Vlogmas again this year, although it won't be daily vlogs. The last couple of years has been quite onerous task for Simon because he's the expert at editing. I know how to cut things out, but I don't know how to do all the extra bits because he sometimes puts pretty music over things and all that. I don't know how to do all that. Simon is the expert. So to make things easier for him, I've said it won't be a daily vlog. I will be filming every day, but I will be putting them together in slightly larger vlogs every 2 to 3 days, depending on how much I have to show from those days. We've got lots planned for Christmas, so we've all got our annual visit to the Gates Garden Centre Christmas displays. We've got obviously our annual walk around the Christmas lights, and oh, what else was there we had to do? I can't remember now. But anyway, you'll find out. And advent calendars. I've got an advent calendar on the way, so we'll have to see what that beautiful project will make as well. So I shall see you again soon, and I hope you all have a lovely, safe, crafty couple of weeks. Bye!